background as an environmental lawyer?
My background as an environmental lawyer, this is a very nice question indeed. I think since I was a kid, I wanted to become a lawyer. It was something that I really much wanted because I'm a person that likes to contribute to society. So it was funny because in my family there are no lawyers. So I was the first in my family, and immediately when I became lawyer, I started to work defending the rights of indigenous peoples. For me, it was natural because that was my goal from the beginning, to support communities, to support people. So from there, what happened was that I wanted to help, but actually I was helped by indigenous peoples in how to understand nature.
And then how did you connect an environmental law career to IUCN, and how did that connection work for you?
Well, I think I was very lucky in a way. I was part of the Environmental Law Center because as a young professional, I wanted to help society. Then indigenous peoples allowed me to better understand the value of nature conservation. And then I joined the Environmental Law Center in Costa Rica. And there I met other environmental law centers in the region, and happens that they were all talking about the Commission on Environmental Law.
And what year was that?
That was 1991.
1991.
Yeah, and then I went to these World Conservation Congresses at the time. I remember in 1996, I went to the one in Montreal and met members of the steering committee of the commission. At that time, Parvez Hassan, Nick Robinson, and I was at that time I was a very young lawyer with. I'm still with a lot of passion and energy, but at that time, it was like I was really looking to be part of something bigger, and for me, IUCN was. That's something bigger, and of course I admire a lot of the members of the commission. So when they invited me to be part of the commission and be part of the steering committee of the commission, for me it was a big gift of life. So from there, I think that my career actually as a lawyer that works in environmental issues became to be more visible. And more important in a way to me and to others. I took many examples from the members of the commission, many of them very, very brave women from different parts of the world. So imagine me, I was coming from Costa Rica, and then I got to know people from Australia, from New Zealand, from Kuwait, from very far away parts of this planet, but we had something in common, and it was that passion to help people by protecting the environment. And it was fantastic. Still, it is fantastic.
So now that you're the acting director general, can you tell us a little bit about what you think the role of WCEL is in moving IUCN forward to 2030 and beyond?
Well, the World Commission on Environmental Law have been one of the most important commissions for IUCN. I cannot imagine IUCN without the lawyers, and we can talk about jokes related to lawyers that I love, of course. But the matter of fact is that, for example, in IUCN, the statutes and regulations that that help us all in IUCN to function were put together by lawyers, members of the commission. 70 years ago, and then the Burhani family improved those, and a lot of people were working towards IUCN. So I don't picture IUCN without the lawyers. I don't. And because also, humanity to live in peace and conserving our planet, we need to have boundaries. And even though, we work together to put together those boundaries, the lawyers are the ones who put together in paper and who try to translate what the people want into policies, rules, and regulations. So I don't picture IUCN without the lawyers. And me as an acting director, being a lawyer, I think it's an advantage. I think with the mind of a lawyer. I cannot help it, but I think that is good for IUCN. And today, lawyers, and I say this for the younger generation, we don't have to think in lawyers just in one prototype. Lawyers can be whatever they want to be, and I think that is the case for me. I always say when I present myself, first of all, I'm a lawyer and I'm proud.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time for this interview.